As suggested, a quick review of any report that's being prepared is often a good idea. In this particular case, we now have two line items, an actual measurement of cable loss, and then an image that we want to associate with that measurement. In reviewing the tags, we see that the tags are incorrect and the alpha, as before, needs to be replaced with beta. By selecting, again, the image itself, we can select the alpha icon, delete it by pressing the X, and then we can add an icon or another tag, by pressing the tag icon, and again correcting it to beta. And once beta is added, we select it, and when it turns white, we can choose to move it in front of the first tag such that we now have the correct order. Going back to the image by pressing the back arrow, we see that we now have a consistent report. At this point, we have a number of options with this somewhat limited report. We can choose a new report, and by selecting new, it asks us if we would like to discard the current report. In this case, we're not interested in a new report this time, so we'll say no. At any time that you wish to create a new report, though, this would be the mechanism. We can also choose to open an existing report. These reports are found as zip files on the actual device that's being used for control. In this case, again, rather than selecting and opening a file, we're going to press the middle of the screen and get back out. Finally, we might choose to save the file. What you'll notice is the file name is created by default. It is the site name, in this case Kalis Denver, the operator, in this case JET, and a timestamp. We can choose to accept this, or we can of course type over in a new name that's more descriptive or something that we might want to include. By adding the timestamp at the end, we can save multiple report files that are an accumulation of measurements, and always have the ability to go back one step by opening and add back data if we lose anything. In this case, I'm going to choose to save the report, and then with the report saved, I can choose to possibly do other operations on that report. I might wish to combine it with a report that I've previously taken. For instance, I may choose to add multiple sites. I also may merge with my PIM test data from the Kalis equipment, the IPA, the battery powered unit, and the IQA, the AC powered unit. All can have their reports merged into a single report. In this case, again, I'm going to choose not to do a merge. I can choose to share. This is an important capability if, while on site, it is required that you share the report with the operator or the customer before you leave the site. It brings up a set of applications. These are applications that are loaded onto the controlling device. In this specific instance, I have accounts for Dropbox and Gmail already loaded on this device. It's important to understand that you do have to have a Google account, and the proper setup of that is something that you need to review. You also can choose any cloud storage mechanism you'd like. Again, we have Dropbox, we have Drive, and we have other devices that are available as soon as you load those applications. Again, on an Android device, these are available on this tablet. In this specific case, I'm going to indicate Add Dropbox, and we're going to see a list of things that I can add to. In this specific case, I'm going to add it to the directory IVA 1.0. Obviously, we can create new directories, and this is something that you'll have to determine by using the application you use for your sharing mechanism, whether it be mail or something else. At this point also, I do not have a PDF document. I am using a zip file to contain an XML file plus the photographs plus the plots plus the comma separated values that create the plot. I can now choose to view a PDF, and again, as with the previous share application, when I choose share or view PDF, it's going to bring up a series of applications. In my particular case, I've gone out and found a number of different viewers, one of course associated with the Google Drive. There's also one associated with my Dropbox account. I'm going to choose to use Adobe, and the reason will become obvious in just a moment. What we have here is now a PDF where we can see the site, the comment for the site details of the report details. It was a training site. I have the device details. When I'm using one device, it will be indicated. When I'm using multiple devices, whether it be cable and antenna analyzers like the IVA or PIM gear like the IPA, all the details for the devices in the report will be included, as well as details on their software and firmware versions. I've made a cable loss measurement in this report, again a quite limited report, but certainly it indicates the possibilities. For the cable loss, I've set up a ripple spec that goes from 2 gigahertz to 22.5 gigahertz with a threshold of 25 dB. The indication on the plot is that I have indeed got a ripple spec, and it has an 8.5 dB ripple, and the result is a pass over that range. So again, I have a threshold of 25, and I can see that it goes over the full range. Additionally, if I wish to expand that report, I can see that it goes from a maximum of 22.69, a minimum of 31.24, and an average of 24.81. Again, back to the full screen, I can do other operations. Under the test point label, I see beta white red feeder cable short, which is the tag string that we put together. I also see the GPS location. By pressing the GPS location, I may open, if I'm connected to the internet, the actual physical location that this data was taken. In this particular case, I'm in Colorado, somewhere off of Easter Lane. This can be saved into the report by basically doing anything that's necessary to capture this image. In this particular case, I can zoom in to get greater detail of my location, which indeed indicates where I'm at, or I can zoom out to show the region around it. In each case, I can choose to capture the image, and then from that captured image I can move back into the report and add it to it. Additionally, we had a photograph added. It does not have any indication of the time, the points, and indications like that, but indeed it does have a comment line and of course the location and a tag or test point label. At this particular point, it's relatively limited in terms of the data we've taken, but everything that we've taken we've completely documented at this particular time. If we wish to know the marker values on that trace, we can zoom in on that, and then if a spreadsheet or a tool that was available to measure or open comma separated value files is available, you can press on the plot itself and it will open up a spreadsheet. Typically the PDF file, when used on a PC, if you click on the plot itself, it'll open up Excel where you can look at the actual values that were taken for the 201 points.